Hi, welcome to Story in Stone. My name is Amanda and I'm here to give you the mid-month catch-up for October. It's a little bit late, unfortunately. I've been really run off my feet this week, so I had planned to do it on the 15th, but unfortunately it's now the 19th and I'm finally getting to sit down and do it. Okay, so today's readings I'm going to use the Sacred Forest Oracle by Denise Linn, and I'm also going to use the Lost Oracle by Fiona Horn. Two very lovely decks, very different from one another. So we're going to start with the Sacred Forest Oracle, and we're just going to draw a couple of cards to see what they say. I'll give you my thoughts on them and then I'll read the guidebook. Okay, so what guidance do you have for the collective for the rest of the month of October? Okay, so I've drawn 3 cards here today, and I've got the Wood Nymph, which is beauty. I've got the Willow Spirit, which is flexibility. And I've got the Dragonfly Spirit, which is oracle. Speaking of dragonflies, the other day one smacked me straight in the face. Scared the living daylights out of me. Okay, so we're going to start with the Wood Nymph and beauty, and I'll just read from the guidebook. So it says, looking fragile, delicate and luminescent, 3 wood nymphs, sometimes called forest queens, are stretched out in the moss at the base of a tree, bathing in the moonlight. Their flowing gossamer gowns sparkle and shimmer, seemingly made out of light, their dreams and visions translucent and diaphanous, waver in the air above them. Radiant, glorious beauty is growing within you. Let beauty be your North Star to guide you. What feels as well as what looks lovely will sustain and nourish you. Your ability to see inner depths around you is in direct correlation with a remarkable, sumptuous life. Create harmony and peace within your home, even doing so in small ways, such as a vase of flowers or a scented candlelit bath, can make a difference. Relax and surround yourself with comfort and elegance. The more you acknowledge beauty in your environment, in yourself, in others, the more it will fill your life. You are truly and utterly gorgeous and lovable. As you cherish yourself, the luminescence around you will grow. The nymphs of ancient Greek folklore are beautiful supernatural beings of the forest. Their appearance here symbolizes that your own beauty, both inner and outer, is growing. There are many accounts of travelers walking through a forest and seeing wood nymphs bathing in the sunlight in a grotto or next to a stream or pool, singing or dancing. Follow the example of the nymphs. Relax, spend time in nature, and sing and dance with joy. The spirit of the wood nymph says, remarkable spiritual beauty is growing within you. Be aware of the beauty that is around you, and splendor will expand in your life. Create beauty in your home, even in the smallest ways, and an inner grace will radiate from you. Okay, so if you think about what we talked about at the beginning of the month, about some of the challenges you might face and how you're going to have some opportunities and you need to be planning and all that sort of stuff, this card here is just saying, don't forget about one of the easiest ways to manifest what we want in our life and to move forward in our life is to feel good. And one of the easiest ways to do it is to create beauty in our life, because when you're looking at beauty, it's very hard to feel negative or sad or depressed, because, you know, these things should be taking your breath away. So I'm not talking about the superficial beauty, but I'm talking about the beauty of, like, having a conversation with a child, or flowers in a vase, or a candlelit bath, or making a cake that, you know, your favorite cake, and enjoying it with a book and a cup of tea in the afternoon. I'm talking about those sort of things of beauty. And, excuse me, also creating joy and creating happiness and raising our vibration. That's a really easy way to help us move forward. So this card is also talking about raising our vibration by singing and dancing. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't have a voice or you can't, you've got 2 left feet. Just do it. Nobody's watching you. Nobody's judging you or giving you a score out of 10. Just do what feels good so that it can raise your vibration and therefore put you more in the flow so that you're open to signs and opportunities that come your way and you're more likely to take advantage of them. Okay, so the second card we've got is Willow Spirit and its flexibility. Okay, so I'll just read the guidebook for you. Okay, so this says, at the edge of the forest pond grows a large willow. Her branches dip lightly into the waters. As the wind rises, her elegant boughs sway to and fro like a mystic dancer. Her dangling leaves whisper across the water in lazy designs. This card encourages you to be flexible in your life, be willing to bend and even to yield. There is power in doing this as a choice rather than as a forfeit of your will. Even though there are times to stand strong, sometimes the great valor is to go around a situation rather than face it head on. By being adaptable, you can succeed, whereas someone who is more rigid may not. In rough winds, a strong oak tree may break, while the willow can bend without snapping. Adjust to life rather than fight it. Surrender to the process. As the willow can weather storms, so too can you weather life's challenges. There are many legends regarding the willow tree. It often has associations with gods and goddesses like Hecate, Artemis, and Mercury. In ancient Athens, it was a practice of the priests of Asclepius to place willow branches in their temples in the belief that it would draw mystical healing. The willow was also sacred to poets, for the sound of the wind through the willow was thought to influence poetic expression. In Celtic traditions, the willow has always been known as a tree of dreaming, inspiration, and enchantment. The spirit of the willow says, be flexible in your life, be willing to bend rather than break, be amenable to change, and you will flourish in wondrous ways. Okay, so the messages that I'm getting to here are that sometimes you're going to be thrown obstacles and delays and challenges, and rather than push through them or fight them and keep hitting your head against a brick wall, maybe stop and surrender and say, okay, where do you want me to go, Spirit? And wait and listen to find out which way they want you to go, because there's obviously a reason why you keep having all these delays. I know this very well because last week on Wednesday in particular, I was trying to get into the city by a certain time and I just kept getting delay after delay after delay, roadworks, traffic. It was just kept going on. And I was like, why am I being delayed? Then of course I got to the city and I realized why I was being delayed. This is just saying, be flexible. Not everything has to go exactly the way you picture it. And often the best things that happen to us don't actually go the way we picture them at all. They usually end up totally different. So this is just saying for the rest of the month, be a little bit flexible, especially if you've got that King of Wands coming in, that energy either through yourself or through someone you know. You might have to be a little bit flexible as they go, trampling through on their next big adventure. Okay, so the third card that I've pulled from this deck is the Dragonfly Spirit. Okay. So you watch, I said this was Oracle, but it's actually Change. That'll teach me to read it without my glasses on. You watch the dragonfly whisk across the surface of the forest pond with elegance and grace. Her iridescent wings and body shine in a kaleidoscope of colours, depending on how the light falls on her. She hovers, flies backwards, and even darts upside down with seeming delight. This card is letting you know that it's all right to change directions. It's okay to change your mind. You do not need to be consistent at every turn. This is the time to put the traditions and expectations of others aside. Instead, you're being called to create your own traditions. You're free to express yourself and let your spirit fly. Dragonflies are acrobats of the sky. Not only can they fly backwards, they fly upside down and turn 360 degrees, and while looking graceful as they do so. Dragonfly spirit urges you to take on her same fearless daring. Go beyond predictable behavior. Just because something has always been done a certain way doesn't mean that it needs to continue to be done that way. While you can't control the exact circumstances of your life, you can control what meaning you give to them. Select meanings that empower you, for this is the time to be carefree, wild, and unpredictable. Dragonflies are ancient, taking to the skies 300 to 350 million years ago. They have adapted through millennia and thus survived when many creatures have not. These masters of change are a reminder that change will heal you. The spirit of Dragonfly says, be willing to change your perspective and good fortune will follow. Sometimes you need to back up to go forward. As people get older, they find it harder to change, so to activate youthfulness, be willing to make changes without hesitation. So, these very pretty cards, aren't they? So, this sort of fits in with the Willow Spirit card that we were just talking about, and about being flexible, but this one's also saying be willing to change your mind if you need to. You know, you might have at the beginning of October thought, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity that's being presented to me, but then as you started planning for that opportunity and getting your tools and resources together, you realize actually this is not looking so attractive anymore. So this card is saying don't just keep going ahead with it because you've already picked it or because people are expecting you to keep going. This card is saying it's okay to change your mind. If you think back to the beginning of October when I did the first reading, you'll also know that we talked about the Major Arcana card, the Hierophant. Now, he talks about traditional things and being institutions and things like religions and things like that. This card is saying, okay, you've had to toe the line a little bit, but now it's time to actually maybe break down and do what you always wanted to do, you know, whether that's in your little woo-woo way or whatever. And this is saying it's okay to do that. It's okay to change tradition. So for the rest of the month, it's saying bring a little bit of beauty into your life, bring a little bit of joy, raise your vibration so you're more open to the messages and signs that are coming through from spirit. And remember to remain flexible. Be willing to bend rather than stand solid and strong, because that just may break you. And also, if you need to change your mind or if you need to change something, then go ahead and do it. It's okay. Things change. Nothing's set in stone. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a card from the Lost Oracle. Now, the Lost Oracle, I use this deck to... when I'm feeling a bit chaotic, or when I feel like the chaos of life is getting on me and I don't know what to do to relieve it type thing. And I just feel like that maybe that's what we need a bit of for the rest of the month. So I'm just going to ask, how can the collective step back and get some peace from the chaos of October? How can the collective step back and get a bit of peace from the chaos of October? Okay. Now, we've got Papillion. Your courage will be rewarded. And these cards just lovely. Look at the back of them. Just beautiful. I love the red, white and black, or the red, black and cream theme. It's really different. So we've got that. Now we also got a jump card, which is a card that falls out while I'm shuffling. and it is called the Crone, Know Your Power. So I'm just going to read both of those cards. We'll start with the Papillion. Okay. So it says, the butterflies with their delicate but strong wings, born of the dark yet nourishing constraints of their cocoons, symbolize the magic of tenacity, transformation, and renewal. Papillion heralds the journey of rebirth, both within oneself and in the realm of the spirit. It is time, to shed the cocoon of the past and emerge in a new form, embodying the essence of authentic selfhood. The butterfly's escape from the thorn-filled jar heralds liberation from painful constraints. Their flight urges you to venture forth into the uncharted. Your fearlessness will be rewarded. If a situation or person has been holding you back and causing pain and grief, Papillion says it is time now for you to fly free, and your struggle will have yielded important personal growth. Poppies tell tales of sleep, the cycle of life and death, peace and eternal dance of rebirth. They are a metaphorical bridge between the waking world and the afterlife, with their presence symbolizing the delicate and transient nature of existence. With their vibrant and delicate petals, poppies often carry dual meanings. On one hand, they are associated with beauty, passion, and the ethereal nature of life. Yet, the poppy also has a darker side, as it has historically been linked to the concept of remembrance and the sacrifices made during times of war. The trauma and sensory overload of war are contrasted with the poppy's relationship to the opium dens of romantic literature. Papillion is also the card aligned with the awareness of addictions and their ultimately unsustainable role in human life. The butterflies represent freedom from the constraints of drugs, food, relationships, and physical or emotional addictions. The juxtaposition of beauty and the solemnity in the poppy's symbolism speaks to the complex nature of the human experience. It reminds us that even in moments of joy and vibrancy, there may be underlying challenges or sacrifices. This does not mean that life is hard or we have failed. The message of Papillion offers that on the path of transformation and enlightenment, one may encounter both the soft allure of ease and beauty and the sharp prick of challenges. The jar, as a symbol of containment, suggests that these elements coexist and contribute to the richness of the journey. Embracing the navigation between both the poppies and the thorns allows for a more profound understanding of the self and a greater appreciation for the complexities inherent in the process of personal metamorphosis. And when it is time and you have contemplated the challenges with compassion, fly free and leave them behind. Okay, so sorry, that was a bit of a mouthful. I didn't realize that it was going to be so much. But it says your courage will be rewarded. So what I was getting as I was reading that is that you have to think about the cocoon and how the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, and rather than just adding some wings to its body, a caterpillar actually breaks down every single molecule in its body, so it's just mush, just goop, and then it reforms itself as the butterfly. So that is really such a great metaphor for transformation. And I feel like this month is where we're starting to get through that goop, where we're starting to transform, where we're starting to step up, where we're starting to see that spiritual awakening again. So that's a really lovely card. It's saying, be brave. Yeah, we know that shit's happening, but everything will be okay. Now, the crone. And this crone sort of goes hand in hand with the Papillion, because they're saying have courage and you'll be rewarded. And the crone is saying know your power. So reading from the guidebook, it says, here stands a beautiful wise crone wrapped in a billowing black cloak, her hair spilling from her like ropes of silver as the winds of change embrace her. Sheaths of wheat curl around her, symbolic of her vast life's harvest and offerings. The term crone has been burdened with negative connotations, conjuring images of haggard figures and recluses on the outskirts of society. Yet beyond the layers of stereotype and modern insult, the true essence of the crone emerges as a powerful archetype steeped in knowledge, respect, and magic. The crone is a paragon of wisdom and grace and embodies the culmination of a lifetime of experience. In her lies a deep well of insight, a testament to the journey that has brought her thus far. In the feminine journey, the maiden and the crone weave a spell of intrigue, and in this enigmatic card dwells the twin embodiments of womanhood, for indeed the maiden and the crone share the same throne. When this card is drawn, you're encouraged to examine your preconceptions and assessments. Are you truly self-determined? Are you embodying the wise crone's wisdom of acceptance and respect for the human journey in its many expressions? The crone's rightful place is also as the cornerstone of her family, the matriarch who holds the sacred knowledge of womanhood. Passing on rituals and traditions to younger generations, she is the glue that holds everything together. Are you being called to offer guidance? Can you reach out a guiding hand? How is the crone resonating in you? Oh, more. As you draw this card, know that much like the Revered Great Mother, you are called to trust in your wisdom and knowledge. Embrace the power of self-validation and recognize the strength that comes from within. The crone's presence assures you that the journey you've undertaken holds immeasurable value. Do not doubt the choices you are making right now. The crone is the gatekeeper of women's mysteries and magic, rooted in reality, not the pages of fairy tales. The magic of creation. The magic of new experiences and finding joy in the small things as we journey through the years. The life lesson of the crone is in the reclaiming of personal power and, most importantly, knowing it. Okay, so she goes really well with this. Having the courage to be who you are, to be that crone. And let's face it, if you're of my generation, we are going into that cronehood. We should have enough experience and wisdom now to be able to start passing that down to the younger females in our families and in our societies. These cards also go really well with the cards that we picked up in the other deck. The change and the being flexible and showing a bit of beauty, you know, like as the guidebook said, the crone has always had negative connotations, you know, this old woman who eats children and lives on the edge of the woods, that type of thing. But actually, she is the wise woman. She's the matriarch of our family. And she is someone that's to be respected and to actually be loved and revered, because she's been through all of the shit, you know, and she knows something. And I know I can see if you're younger, you must probably thinking, yeah, whatever. But having been young myself once, I know, hard to believe, you do think, oh, what do they know? We're living in a modern world, but the world doesn't change that much. Technology does, but the actual world, the way we live our lives has not changed that much. We still need community. We still need family. And at the head of that family should be a matriarch who has the wisdom to pass down, who has family traditions to pass down that keep our families connected. And that's when I'm saying that, I'm talking about positive traditions, not negative ones. So that's it for this October mid-month catch-up. I hope that's helped you. If you have any questions, please contact me either on my email, amanda@storyandstone.com.au, or through direct message or the comments fields, whether you're watching from YouTube or my Facebook page. If you like this video, please like and follow my Facebook page or subscribe to my channel so that you can be advised of when I have another video up. I hope you've enjoyed this. Once again, sorry it was late. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.